So, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melanie. If you're new here, welcome. Um, if you like this video, definitely like it, subscribe, do all those things that you should do, but you don't do. So, today I wanted to do kind of like not really a story time, but just I guess a recap of 2018. And then tell you guys about what I'm doing now and kind of introducing again, um, going back into YouTube because I haven't been posting for a month and I apologize for that. It's been a roller coaster of things. So, yeah, 2018 was insane for me. I know I'm like super late on this too, but I went through a lot. I lost a ton of weight, and I kind of, or I ain't kind of, I found myself, and I acquired self love, which I didn't have in the past, which I thought I did, but I didn't. And then I graduated from college, which was a huge accomplishment, and I was jobless for about 6 months or so. And it was a very stressful period because, my parents had this ideal that you got out of school, you got a job, your life is set in stone. And it really wasn't like that. And on top of that, there were just all these other issues at home because you kind of, for me at least, I had to follow their rules and stuff, and sometimes I didn't really agree with their rules. So then after that, I became kind of homeless. And I say kind of because I did have places to stay, but what I will say is that I was couch surfing a lot. And that was a really rough period for me because I hit a brick wall and I was just like in shambles for about, I would say, like a day or two. I really just like was like, what the heck? But at the same time, around that period, um, I'll say like right before I left my house and when I was couch surfing, I found the law of attraction, my spirituality got stronger, and I started believing in that I manifest whatever I want. I do whatever I want. You guys can kind of see that too from my videos. I talk about it here and there of the law of attraction and things that had happened to me um, even then. And I knew that this happened to me because something bigger was coming for me, something better, and that I had to get away from that situation where, in reality, a lot of the times it was very negative in the house, and I try to be as positive as possible in that household, but either way, it was still a lot of negativity, and I started going to therapy. And I'm gonna do a separate video about this because um, therapy has like a really negative connotation for whatever reason. But I think everyone should go to therapy. I think everybody needs someone to just talk to and to analyze what they're saying and to also reiterate their thoughts and ideas and kind of say, well, why is this, that, and stuff like that. Basically, what a therapist does. Um, that's been great, and I go weekly, and yeah, I like my therapist, and I like what we've achieved so far, and I think it's very healthy for just anyone. You don't have to have an illness, so to speak, to go to therapy. You don't even need trauma to go to therapy. It's just life. You have problems, and it's easier and better to speak about it, and that way you can like fix your problems. That's all that. I was also couch surfing for a while. I'll say that it was sometimes stressful, sometimes crazy, sometimes okay. Because there were times where I didn't know where I was going to sleep. There were times where I had no money and I was skipping meals. Times where I wasn't the most comfortable areas of sleeping, but it was somewhere safe. So I stayed. And I'm grateful for each and every person that helped me out throughout that craziness, because it was insane. Currently, I am in my grandma's house and I'm staying here for about 2-3 months or so, and then I will be moving out. And I've learned so much from this that it's hard to even like put into words, because it's a lot. But for the most part, I learned that first of all, your willpower, like you have so much power within you, you don't even know it. Like, and if you become so positive, you don't even know the things that can come to you. I have so much like law of attraction stories from that month, because it was insane the amount of stuff that I received, that I was all grateful for, like to this day. And also just kind of the things that I learned and the things that I brought with me now, and the things that I also learned about myself. And like one thing was like, I noticed that I would prioritize my products. I would hoard my products because I felt like the fancier stuff I could only use it when I was doing something fancy. It was just a poor person mentality. And like part of the law of attraction is like you have to have like a rich mentality if you want to be rich. Like, so yeah. All those things to say that I'm very grateful for each and everything that has happened to me, because it has gotten me to this point where I am working, yay, for a nonprofit, and I've received so much abundance, and I feel extremely comfortable and safe, and I feel like I am able to do whatever I want. um, and yeah, I feel really good, and I'm excited. So on to, after talking so much, the second part of my journey kind of thing. And like this will be ongoing obviously because it's about my life. Now we're in 2019. So I still brought the same things that I brought in before. Obviously the good things like reading, meditating, journaling, working on the stuff that I really love to do, while also just working and getting stuff done. And also budgeting, which has been a huge thing for me. And I also learned how to code, which was really cool because I didn't even know I was good at it. So I brought all those things into 2019, and I have a huge list of goals and stuff that I want to achieve. Not only materialistic stuff or stuff that I feel like are my goals, but also like just mental stuff, like staying present and being aware and being grateful for everything that I have. And yeah, so basically right now, any day that I don't work, I do the things that I love to do and that I consider like my dream, my purpose. And I tend to also try to be productive in those spaces where it's you could do something that has no meaning, but um, you could also do something that has meaning. So, for example, when I take the train rides to work, I read instead of like listening to music. Sometimes I do half and half. I'll read and then I'll listen to music. Um, when I do dog walks, I listen to podcasts instead of listening to music. Um, and I tend to stay away from Instagram and social media as much as I can. Sometimes it's hard, of course, because it's just really easy to scroll through, social media. I will say for me that I am lacking right now, or that I could improve on, is health and wellness, definitely, and just worrying too much about like the end result, because for health and wellness, I have not been eating the healthiest. I try to eat as healthy as possible, but um, partially it's just laziness, partially it's just more laziness. um, but definitely, I do try to buy greens and fruits and stuff, and try to um, again be as healthy as possible. But when I was couch surfing, it was a bit tougher to do that, and it was easier to eat out or to just not eat. um, but now that I am in a household where I can buy food and stuff, and I can uh, go grocery shopping more often, and have vegetables and fruits there. Definitely getting back into that. Working out, the same thing. I was prioritizing work and just living day to day, and working out, although I do walk a lot, I don't necessarily work out training, and I still have to apply to the gym, but that is something that I definitely want to do. And I think that either the end of this month or the beginning of February, I will definitely apply to gym finally, because I really, really miss the gym. And it's not like I couldn't work out in my grandma's house, but I have gotten lazy. And then in terms of just like doing work, being productive, I think part of it is just like, I feel like if it's not perfect, if I'm not doing it the right way, it's not good enough. And I need to get rid of that mindset. And also, I also have a feeling like if I do the work um, and it's not good enough, I just wasted a bunch of time doing work that wasn't good enough. So I need to get rid of all those mentalities. I never said I was perfect. I never said I had it all together. I'm just saying that this is kind of what I'm going through, like my process. So yeah. And yeah, that's basically what's been happening in January. This is like the midpoint too. It's like 2 weeks in. I think I've been pretty productive and pretty um, head on with things, which I'm actually proud of myself for. So a little pat on the back, because at the beginning of January, I didn't like tumble in. Like, I knew it was the new year. Like, I looked at the things that I wanted to do. I reflected and all that. But it was just kind of like, yeah, it's the same thing, because, I was already working on myself in 2018. So 2019 was no different for me, because I was continuing that work. But yeah, I'm just continuing what I want to do and continuing just making YouTube videos, blogging, and making music and artwork. And I hope everything works out in my favor. And I'm super excited. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and listening to me babble on about myself. Next week, I will be posting regularly. I think the schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm not sure. Or Wednesday, Friday. Depends. Um, and yeah, see you guys and see you next one.